Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Chelsea. We all know that. I'm just a lady with a bulldog, oh goodness, covered in dog hair and a camera and too many opinions. And today we are going to get ready. I will have I'm obsessed with these nails. These are my favorite ones from Kiss. I'll have these links down below or like tagged in the video, whichever. And also all the products I'm using. But we have quite a few things to go over. And by quite a few things, I mean, I want to talk about this video that a lot of y'all have actually sent me, and it's titled Why I Left Monat. And this girl, her name is Kelsey. She is serving, reading, spilling, slaying, dare I say. She's amazing. So she's basically telling us, I mean, what we already know, obviously, but telling us the story of how like she joined Monat, why she joined it, how that whole process, and then how she basically was gaslit and then finally like was bringing things to her upline, and then like her upline started questioning things, and, you know, just great examples of how the gaslighting and manipulation can be slower and more like casual, so to speak, casual gaslighting, and not as obvious, right? So we're going to talk about that. Also, if my lighting is uneven, not if, it is. I have my curtains open for my sliding glass door just because like it's pretty outside, okay? So I know I'm going to get comments of like, Chelsea, your makeup's uneven. It probably is, but it's because of the lighting. So I'm sorry, but I need to see like outside, okay? Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to watch the video, I'll have her channel tagged down below, and I'll have this video linked down below too. And let's go. I am going to put her on 1.25 speed, just so you know. Who has the time?
It literally, now in my opinion, it seems like a cult. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Today we are talking about Monat and their potential downfall. Allegedly, of course. I tried their products back in November of 2023. I thought my first wash was great, my hair felt better, and it smelled so good. I really liked the products after the first couple washes. And my friend, who ended up being my upline, was like, why don't you just sell it and monetize your beauty routine, as is shared widely. Monetize your beauty routine. I was like, okay, that sounds cool.
Listen, we're going to be stopping a lot, and I don't want to be, redundant, but when am I not? So y'all know we talk about or have mentioned so many times when people will post and be like, I get paid to wash my hair. Hey, no, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, monetize your beauty routine. That's not what you're doing. You're promoting and selling these products and hopefully making a sale and recruiting people. But you are quite literally not monetizing your beauty routine.
Staying at home anyways, I'm a stay-at-home mom, which is allegedly their target audience. So my hair was great the first 4 to 5 months. My hair was shiny, healthy. It still looks a little bit shiny and healthy. I did just get a haircut though, because I had a lot of breakage. So it was growing again. I had no split ends that I could see. Everything seemed to be healed up. I had little baby hairs growing in, which I still have. Some people will say it's breakage, but honestly, the way my hairline grew in, I don't see how that's possible to be breakage. So I do think that the products did help me a little bit with that. That's why I was so confused after 4 to 5 months.
Let's be clear. The only way to heal split ends is to get a haircut. And her hair does look great. But we have seen this from a lot. We have seen this from a lot of Monat market partners who will say that the products, made their hair look great for the first few months or something like that, right? And we're about to hear her give so many good examples of not only gaslighting, but blame shifting, and people, her uplines, whoever, being like, oh, well, it's not the product, it's not the company, it's you. And we hear that all too often.
When I was like, okay, my hair's starting to act like it did before. My hair started getting oily again after a day or two of showering. It still does. I had a lot of breakage and dryness. My hair wasn't growing as fast. So I messaged my upline and I was like, hey, like, how's your hair? And she's like, great, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, mine's like really dry and I have like some breakage and I don't really know what's going on because I've been using the exact same products. They sit there and they preach on product mixing and all that. I didn't mix my products. I was only using Monat for my skincare and my hair care, okay? So she goes to her upline and asked her about it. And they were saying that maybe I wasn't using the right products for my hair. I was like, okay, nothing changed. I used the same thing since the beginning, so I didn't understand how it could just stop working.
This could be due to ingredient changes. Monat's corporate side has said multiple times that like they never changed the ingredients or they never changed the formulas, but I don't know. I heavily doubt that because so many people have said like, no, the products used to be great and now they're not. And that sucks, obviously. And that stinks to do that without telling your market partners and, the people who use the products the most, but I guess they don't have to do that. I don't know. It's just truly wild.
So that was really confusing to me. So something that they preach on is being in your DMs and sending reach outs. So I personally, in my opinion, I find that very cringy and I didn't want to do it, but they're very pushy. So I can only take so much pushing. So of course I start getting in my DMs and messaging people and sending these reach outs, cringy messages. A lot of them are copy and paste. It's so cringe. And I apologize to anyone that I sent one of those to. So I've heard a lot and I've seen a lot where when people leave Monat,
but they don't do cold messaging, right? Because it's not cold messaging if you're just calling it reach outs. That is so wild. To just be like, no, it's so different. It's like, it's not cold messaging, it's reach outs. Ma'am, that's the same thing. A lot of people have said that they will stay in money because they're like, well, I'm embarrassed, or, the sunk cost fallacy, not only in terms of money and I've spent this much money, but, well, like I've embarrassed myself this much and I don't want to like look like a loser or look like a failure, or look like I'm quitting. Like, I made this my entire personality. Like, I went all in. Like, that's so embarrassing if I quit. And I get it. However, what's more embarrassing is being stuck. I'd say by choice, but like, is it by choice? Being manipulated by yourself and others to stay in something that clearly is not working. Well, oh, it's the friends. Okay, join a, like, I don't know, a book club. Oh, well, it's the, business mentorship. How's that really working out for you? You can get business mentorship for free. Oh, it helped me with my faith. Join a church or read a Bible. Like, that's great that, it's helping you with that, those aspects of your life. But is it really, if it purely is all transactional? Doubt it. But a lot of people have said, like, well, how do I go about quitting? One thing that and I know this might sound messed up, but one thing that I've always said is I personally don't think you should tell your upline. I think that you should quit and then sure, maybe give them a heads up, like if you're friends with them or something. But a lot of times what will happen, and what has happened to so many people, is that they will, I surely messed this up, is that they will tell their upline like, hey, how do I get out? Like, I need to quit. I need to cancel. Girl, all you do is call customer service and cancel. That's all you do. And they'll even try to keep you in. No, just say it. No, no's a full sentence. You cannot convince me otherwise. I am out. Cancel everything. Goodbye. And if they try to say, oh, well, there's a cancellation fee. Hey, no, there's not. And if they try to, this is not legal advice. This is just my opinion and what I have seen to work and what I suggest to people for them to do. And if they try to say that they're going to charge you for canceling or like not give you your money back if it's within 30 days, tell them that you will be sending over multiple complaints over to the Florida Attorney General's office and to the Better Business Bureau and like calling the news and the FTC. I've been in customer service. I know that like it's rough, it's hard. So I'm always far too nice to customer service people. But when it comes to this, and listen, even apologize to them afterwards if you want, because I can only imagine how much that job specifically sucks. But like, be a bit. I will never encourage you being a Karen and be crazy with people who work minimum wage jobs. But girly pop, do it. For the love of God. Because like I said, they will try everything to get you to not quit. Don't tell your upline. And then a lot of people will say like, okay, well, I recruited people into it and I have like family and friends who are my VIPs. I think that this way of going about it is amazing. And I also think that telling your VIPs, maybe like sending them an email or a text, telling them like, hey, if you still want to use the products, that's fine, whatever. But this is why I'm leaving. And these are the facts. And, you can get better products elsewhere. And this is the number to cancel. And if they tell you that you have to pay a cancellation fee, tell them that you were not told about a cancellation fee and therefore you don't have to pay it because you were misled, blah, blah, blah. Same with your downlines, right? Tell them to throw you or your upline under the bus, okay? And I know that's drastic. I know that's a little bit crazy, but girlfriend, get out. Trying to help you here. How she goes about this is amazing and I love it. Not everyone wants to like speak out though and isn't comfortable with that. But I even commented on her video and I was like, Kelsey, without sounding corny or at the risk of sounding corny, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. I love it.
Allegedly, the uplines will just talk about, oh, they weren't working their business. That's why they left. Or are their names on the leaderboards? Okay, let me tell you, I was on my team's leaderboards and my uplines leaderboards almost every single week. I definitely was on it every single month. I earned all the fast start bonuses, okay? The Mon neighborhood, all that. I did all that. I earned a trip to Monations and I was this close to earning the Miami trip, but that's when things started feeling fuzzy, which I'll get into.
So she had at least like 6 people under her then if she did all the Mo neighborhoods and stuff, I think, right? So she was probably at like the 2nd or 3rd rank. I'm not sure. I'll reach out to her. Girlfriend, if you're watching this, I would love to interview you. I probably should have reached out before I filmed this video, but listen. If there's one thing I'm going to do, it's not be prepared. Well, they're jealous. It's the ad hominem attacks of instead of actually addressing the facts and arguments that you are bringing to them, it's let me attack the person that is showing me this. And as I've said before, just like with the videos that I post about your favorite unethical influencer, right? Just because you think I'm a hater, a loser with a broke mindset or jealous or whatever. Listen, if you have to tell yourself that to make you feel better, go for it, girl. I'll be the villain. However, me being a villain, me being a hater, sometimes villains and haters, guess what? Bring facts to the table. And in this case, that's true. So you can try to invalidate arguments all you want, but she has shown I was working my business. I was recruiting people. She earned, trips. She qualified for certain things that they used to promote and to market their opportunity. And she was clearly working it. She had clearly recruited people. She was on leaderboards, all that stuff, right? And that whole idea of, oh, well, you weren't working hard enough is completely invalid because there are people who have left money in the past 12 months, let's say, who were at the very tippity tip top of the company and who have said that their checks and their income has been very much declining over the past 2 years. And the fact that she, no offense to Kelsey here, we stan her in this specific situation. I don't know her. But if Kelsey, who isn't really that high up in the company, if she is on her uplines leaderboard, but then also her uplines leaderboard, doesn't that tell us something? Interesting. It's just like when I believe it was Bianca and Isabel. I think that's who it was, who left Monat and were exposing a lot of stuff. They were saying like, how is this person number whatever on the leaderboard when I know that this month they made only $3,000 for commission? Like what? So that's quite interesting. That's quite telling. And it's pretty wild that someone who arguably is in the bottom 3 ranks of the company, again, I don't know what rank she was at, was on leaderboards months after months. So very telling.
I purposely did not earn that trip, but I was hitting ranks like crazy. I've got all the pins still. Then things started coming to light on the internet.
Not those looking like AA coins. What? That's hilarious. Ow. Girl, why is your little Monat shadow box? I'm literally crying. That's hilarious. Why does your little Monat shadow box look like the little shadow box my mom made me while I was in rehab? Because I had my 6 months of recovery sobriety coin, my little AA coin, and then, well, I guess NA, because it was for the white lady. And then my 1 year, which actually, hey girlfriend, NA can be extremely culty too. AA, NA, whatever. Also, hey, completely unrelated, but quick shout out to me for my 18 years of, I don't like saying sobriety because I drink wine and sometimes take edibles, but being clean from schmocaine. 18 years, baby. It's a hell of a drug. Don't do it. So that's fabulous. Anyways, but that's hilarious that it literally looks like AA coins. Ooh, girl.
Started talking to a couple girls on my team when it seemed like they were starting to question things too. And that's when I knew I could actually talk to somebody about it, because before it was just oh, I don't really know what to tell you. It could just be the products in your hair. Don't know what to tell you, sorry. So that was really confusing and hard to deal with, but I just kept chugging along. Then I saw something on the internet about something with the ingredients. So I started doing my own research. Sidebar, allegedly, my upline, not my friend, her upline would tell us that we didn't need to research anything. She was doing the research for us. So back then I was like, oh great, okay, I'll just listen to what she has to say. She's doing all the research. Y'all do not listen to that. Do your own research.
Slay, Kelsey. Love that for you. Yeah, these people, the royal we, if you will, or the ominous they, as I call it. Reason why they will say, oh, don't do your don't do your research, like don't go look up any other information, is because obviously, I mean, not so obvious to some people, not obvious to Kelsey at that point and many others, they will not want you to stumble upon facts, because what are they going to try to do? Control the narrative and be able to control what information, one could say information control, the information that you are looking at, so that they are able to control the way that you're thinking and what, is coming into your noggin. And that is a common cult tactic.
Things might have come to light for me a little sooner. What I found was, okay, they were preaching about us using this Yucca app to show people how clean the ingredients are. Allegedly. They were telling us to use the Yucca app. Yucca, whatever. What I found in the fine print is that the Yucca app, just like Forbes, you can pay to put information in there, okay? On Skin, you cannot. It's actually based by fact, science, whatever, okay? So, I find when I scan some of the ingredients, I start taking both apps, okay? And I'm going crazy around my house, scanning a bunch of different products. Not only Monat, I was scanning all kinds of products to see what I had in my house was clean or not, okay? So I scanned the volumizing shampoo that my 12-year-old was using in the OnSkin app. And it shows that a hazardous ingredient is in the shampoo. This is the ingredient that was shown was in my shampoo. And I looked on the back of the bottle, and sure enough, it said it was on there. I scanned it in the Yucca app. It was showing that it wasn't in the bottle. Y'all are claiming to be European standards, but if you look, that ingredient is banned in Europe. So I go to my Uplines upline. This was her response, and I quote, "I don't know," when I asked about the ingredients being in there. "I think I had heard Europe banned it, and so we stopped using it, but you definitely have no reason to be freaking out. She's totally fine. If it's in there, it'd be so freaking small, it wouldn't do anything." So you might have a toxic ingredient in there, but it's fine because it's probably just a little bit. Guys, this is not okay. It gets better. Is it in the ingredients on your bottle? Do you put sunscreen on your child or any other non-organic ingredients? I'd be far more concerned with that.
Okay, so just because a lot to go over here, but there's a lot of fear mongering and logical fallacies happening, straw man fallacy, all that, and double speak as well. But this drives me insane. So when it comes to toxicity has to do with the quantity of the ingredient. A great example of this is, oh, do I have a little bit of sunburn right there? Oh no. I was going to use Chernobyl as an example, but I'll use the sun. So it looks like I have just a little bit of sunburn right here, just a little tiny bit. Guess what? The sun, that burning ball of gas in the sky, it's toxic to us. That can kill us. But being in it every once in a while, that's okay. That's okay. So I'm not gonna die from this. Says the girl who has a scar on her back from having skin cancer removed. But another great example of that, which is like very, very crazy and dramatic, is Chernobyl, right? So if you're unaware, back in the day, listen, just go watch the Netflix show about it. Or is it not Netflix, HBO. Go watch the HBO show about it. It's forking crazy. And obviously there's a billion documentaries and books and stuff like that you can read about Chernobyl, but it's all about radiation poisoning, right? Their bodies are just disintegrating. They're getting near it. Obviously it's not what happens, but like, wait a minute, radiation? That's pretty crazy. And then I was like, wait, is that the same thing that like when you got cancer, you'll have like chemo and then you, depending on, what the treatment plan is, you might have like radiation as well? Yeah, it is. But it's like a little bit. Obviously it can be, different variations, whatever. But great example. Like, yeah, this is going to kill the cancer. Sure, it might, weaken you a good bit too, but not going to kill you. There's going to be so many people in my comments that are like, oh my God, radiation kills you. Girl, stop that. But, good example there. Water can be toxic. Great example too. I had 2 glasses of wine last night. Listen, I was feeling fabulous. I'm stressed, okay? I need to relax, edit, hang out, drink some wine. Is 2 glasses of wine going to kill me? No. However, if I drink 7 bottles of wine in one night, I will be dead, okay? Quantity. Thank you. That drives me insane when people are like, there's toxic chemicals And it's like that little amount, not going to kill you, but I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a whatever, right? I'm just, again, a silly goose on the internet with a camera and a bulldog and all that. But I just think it is absolutely wild when they use this fear mongering. And one of my favorite things ever, and I love when James and Robert Walsh talk about this too, whenever people use that type of fear mongering in like greenwashing marketing, when they're like, oh, there's no chemicals in it. If there's no chemicals in it, then what's it made of? Because guess what? Water is a chemical. Come on, get it together. These same people who are like, I want all clean product, are also getting like filler and Botox and all that, which I love injectables. Okay. I love them. Those are toxins. Like, come on. Absolutely crazy. And then also then turning around and instead of addressing it and being like, oh, hey, that like as a like sales manager, which it's not really what the upline is, but it kind of is, how her upline handled that was so instead of, you know, completely invalidating your downline, your customers' concerns, what she could have said was, yeah, that information is concerning. Let's put a pen in this. I'm going to take this information to enter name here, department here, whatever. And I'm going to get back to you in a day or two, but I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to figure this out for you. You don't need to have all the answers, but you should know where to find them. Okay. Oh, I'm going to look into that for you. That right there, even if you have no idea what the talking about, can help someone to feel like, okay, great. This is handled. This is like off of me now and on them. So, you know, I feel heard, whatever, right? Instead of you have no reason to be freaking out. Well, the products that I'm selling and the company that I work for is potentially lying to me. So yeah, I do have a reason to be concerned, especially if they're using false advertising and purposely misleading their customers and sales reps. Suck it.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Did I ask you about organic ingredients or sunscreen? No? No? I asked about the clean products that I'm putting on my kid's scalp. That blew me away. I literally sent it to like 3 of my girls instantly. I was like, what the F is this? I was like, can you believe she said this? Because I was in shock. I couldn't believe that I was being gaslit like this. Like, I had heard of other gaslighting by other people that was alleged, of course, going on, okay? But I had never received any until now. So when that happened, I started thinking back to the entire time that I have been with this business selling, okay? And I had a few instances that came to mind.
I love that and I know this is so tiny, such a tiny detail, but I love how she even said, the entire time I've been with this business selling, instead of running my beauty business. Like I swear, girl, she's like Aladdin. She's a diamond in the rough. She's about to get eaten up by that sand tiger.
There was a girl that bought for her daughter, and it did wonders for her curls. And then all of a sudden, after like a month or two, she started getting a really bad allergic reaction on her scalp to the products. She started getting really sensitive to the products. So she stopped using it, of course. Then I had another friend who we did an order swap, and she started getting really bad pimples on her scalp. And when I asked my upline about it, they were saying that her scalp was probably really oily, or she was in a detox phase, was the main answer that I got, was that she was in a detox phase and just to keep using the products and it'll get better. I promise. So naturally, she also stopped using the product. One of my VIPs said that she had a lot of hair fall out and she stopped using it because she was freaking out. And my upline told me she just needs to stick with it, or she's product mixing. So I thought about all these instances that had happened that I had brushed under the rug because I was told all these things about it's a detox, it gets better. Then my upline started getting really quiet. And I finally asked her, like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And she told me she was stepping back and looking at everything just like I was and doing her own research. And she had a VIP that had literal bald spots. And she also was not product mixing. She claims that the products that she was using was the thickening serum, and the spots that she had been using the serum is where these bald spots happened. Month end was extremely stressful.
I really hope that that person who has the bald spots, like, dear God, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. And I really hope that they are able to contact someone, do something about it regarding like money, like some type of action. I don't know. And I really hope that they aren't someone who is, I don't want to say like freshly postpartum, but like someone who is postpartum, because I mean, after you have a kid, aren't you always postpartum? But I hope that they aren't, so that Monat would not be able to like justify that, you know, and be like, oh, well, the bald spots could just be because of like postpartum hair loss. Girl, that is not how postpartum hair loss works. Like, that's definitely not how it works. It's not just like holes in your head. Like, dear God, that's crazy. That is so sad.
Your uplines are pushing you to succeed because they want to hit their rank because it resets every month. So they're super pushy. They're constantly on your back, like, hey, are you in your DMs? Like, hey, you just need this, you just need this, you just need this. I get being helpful, but it's a little much. Point where I was getting agitated at home, and that's never good. That's what this is supposed to not be. So everything that this claims to be for you, oh, it's a great experience, you stay at home, you only work a few hours from your phone, is what they're claiming, allegedly. No, you literally have to be on your phone, in your DMs all day. Because not only are you starting conversations, but you have to have long conversations.
So what she shows on screen right now is, I think, an example of rank buying, I think. So this says, okay, I think 2 POM should get you there. We need to do 3 to be safe. We can. Why don't you go on and buy them and I'll PayPal you the total immediately. Just change the shipping address to me. I think you can do that. Then anything you get after that can be a bonus, but we'll close it out for both of you so that you don't have to stress. That's not how that should work. Like that's rank buying. Like, what are you doing?
And really get into depth and getting to know people before you push your products onto them. That takes a lot of time. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't have time to be sitting here on my phone in my DMs all day. So you have these top people leaving. You have Stuart McMillan's lawsuits coming back out. Things are starting to get a little sketchy around here. So I step back, then my upline steps back, some sidelines step back. My girls are all stepping back, looking at the big picture, like what's really going on here. And then you're hearing from your uplines and from the CEO of the company and stuff. It's a distraction. Get back to work. We need to make money here. That's what you're here for. Get back to work. I'll research it for you. Because they don't want you to find out the truth, is what I found out. Then we have Luis. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. He gets on his live, okay? And those receipts are all over the internet still. People screenshot things. The internet is forever. People still have not learned that. Even a live is forever. People have screen recording on their phones now. So he gets on his live. He starts talking about how 2 women that have just left, top people, okay, were baptized in cocaine water. So he's making fun of their baptism and their religion. That is a Christian religion. And this is a Christian company, allegedly. Okay? How does that make sense? Why would you make fun of someone in the same religion as you? That's the first red flag. Then he starts talking about they're like Judas and backstabbing. Okay, clearly you do not know the whole story of Judas, or you would have just thrown that out there casually. 3, he starts saying they're like commercial prostitutes. Now this is all allegedly because apparently there's a miscommunication with translation. Commercial prostitution. He's saying that they went to a company that offered them money. I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't matter where you are and how much money you're making.
So I love that she's bringing this up because, and obviously I love everything she's bringing up, but I do love that she's bringing up the whole, work from home and it's not stressful and you're so blessed to like work with your babies, but it's like, girl, no, that's literally not ideal. Trying to get any actual work done with kids around you, with babies around you, is pretty much impossible. As she said, like, it's not 2 hours here, 2 hours there, working during nap time. How are you supposed to get anything else done if you're, a stay-at-home mom? But they'll sell you this dream so that they can achieve and maintain what they're working towards, which is so messed up.
They're not offering you money to come over to them. I could be wrong, because that's my opinion, but I've never heard of that before. They're not going to offer you money. It just sounds absurd, honestly.
There are companies that will do bridge contracts, signing bonuses, things like that. I don't necessarily know if that happened with anyone who went over to pharmacy or olive tree people. I do know that sometimes to like skirt around that, what they will do sometimes, I'm not saying anyone specifically did this, but I have heard this has happened and I don't know if it's true. I could see it happening, is that sometimes what they'll do is the person that comes over will, the big upline, whoever, will work out a deal with the company and they will have like a certain amount of people put under them or something like that. I mean, kind of like a sponsorship, right? It's like, okay, we're going to pay you this much money. You are going to be able to guarantee that you're going to be able to bring over this many people. And so sometimes what they will do is, let's say they give me $100,000 and I have to bring over 5,000 people. And obviously from there, that would, bring over a lot more people because then those people are bringing over people, blah, 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 right? So let's say like I said, I have to bring over 5,000 people. So I have two people who were under me in the other MLM that I was previously in. And so I'm going to utilize that 100K and maybe be like, hey, I will give you 20K if you come over, sign up under me and bring a certain amount of people. So, it's like kind of trickling down. And that way you're able to like cushion them coming over and losing, whatever money that they are going to lose, and that like gap in income, because Monat has and other MLMs have been Monat specifically has been notorious for doing this over the past year to people. But people leave before the 15th of the month, they will like not give them the money that they are owed, which is illegal. I think, right? Like that's pretty crazy. Like you can't just not pay someone for the work that they did just because they like leave the company. And like even especially if they go about it like the right way and they're not breaching their contract or anything, if they just leave and following your own guidelines, right? Then again, I don't think Monat wants to lose out on even more money.
So he deleted his live. He had a, half-ass apology on his stories that disappear in 24 hours, so it's not forever. And just talks about keep working. Then we have Uplines. My upline is one of the ones that was on her stories, talking about it's a language barrier.
One thing, yes, I do think that a lot of times heads of money, daddy and baby money, will say things and it not make any sense because of, yes, English not being their first language. However, that doesn't really apply here because he was speaking Spanish. He wasn't speaking English. But a lot of times when Ray Urdaneta is speaking English, but the way he's saying things, it's like, hey, what you just said isn't true, though. We could use the language barrier, the mistranslation excuse or explanation there. But in terms of the like language barrier, talking about the like cocaine water, that's not accurate. And yes, they're Venezuelan. Yes, there are, different dialects and, slang terms and things like that when it comes to Spanish speaking countries. Before I watched that, I asked not only my representative from Babel, but then I also, and like had them check it. But then also I asked our nanny, who is from Nicaragua. I also talked to my tia Maida, who is Cuban and Dominican. And then also talked to my tia Nerea, who lives in the DR, and Spanish is her first language. And then also a few Venezuelan subscribers that I have as well. All of them were like, no, girl, that is exact. Like, I don't know why they're trying to say that that's not what he said. That is exactly what he said. So from one white woman to another, I'm gonna need the non-Spanish speaking, delusional, super Caucasian upline, which is Jewelry Stevens. I'm gonna need her to shut up because she doesn't know what she's talking about.
This was slang. It sounded like a stupid cover-up. You sound like a dumbass. Excuse my language again, but it was literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I literally watched it probably 3 times because I was like, she did not, like, no, there's no way. That sounds like commercial prostitution. You're getting paid to cover up your boss's mistakes. So then Ray gets on his stories. Let's talk about Ray. I can't remember if those stories are live, actually. So he gets on, and he starts talking about how people love drama. All this is drama. Keep working, he says. It's just drama. But your dad started it. He said some things that were clearly inappropriate. Let's discuss this. So this is a Christian company, but on Lewis's live, if you look in the background, there's a statue of Buddha. I don't know a single Christian religion that aligns with Buddhism. So some of the things that I could not stand is how much they want you on your phone. They'll preach all the time about, this is freedom. You don't have to go to work. You can stay at home with your kids, but we want you on your phone 24/7.
When all of this was first happening, a lot of the high up Monat girls were posting things like Instagram reel, TikTok trend that was saying like, oh, did you hear about, and then it like cuts to you know, I don't know, some song or something. And it cuts to them and it's like, no, I'm busy working, or like, I'm busy minding my business, or I'm busy like building an empire. And it's like, you're not building an empire. You're selling an unattainable and not sustainable dream to people and potentially scamming them. Wow. Wiggum is really snoring down there. So that's pretty wild. But it wasn't giving what they think it was giving, because they're like, oh, I'm too busy. And it's like, as a sales rep, which is what you are, and as someone who primarily uses social media for marketing, you do know what's going on. You need to know what's going on. You need to know what's going on, not only with your own company, but in the media and on social media. You need to, as someone who's selling something like that, like, yeah, you don't have to engage, but you do know what's going on. So don't lie about that. But to just be like, oh no, I'm just going to keep working and just be blind to it, like, that's so ignorant and that's so dumb.
Also wanting you to get on opportunity calls and trainings and Zoom meetings. So not only is the actual company hosting these, but you have all 6 of your downlines constantly sending you Zoom calls and trainings to get on. But then they will preach in these videos that these trainings aren't working your business. You need to actually go work it. Mind you, these calls are like at least an hour. So get on these calls for hours a day, because there's usually multiple a day, but also be in your DMs messaging people. Oh, but I'm sure you also have to take care of your kids, right?
Y'all know I have said since the very beginning of making content about, you know, the making money online grift and that whole scam, as someone who makes money online, you know, was in inside sales for so long. Why are you in training, in meetings every single day? Normal sales, there's like product knowledge and, you know, company history maybe, and, you know, things like that. There's, you know, going over regulations, guidelines, you know, HR stuff, and then obviously learning like a clock in and out and about like your paychecks and, you know, all that HR shit. And obviously as well, like I said, product knowledge, but learning, you know, maybe sales techniques, or like, this is the script we use, or like, this is the outline, whatever. These are QA things that, you know, you can or can't say. This is the system we use. This is our CRM. This is how you go through, you know, whatever. If you don't know the answer, this is where to find it. I mean, obviously leave in the comments below, but usually in my experience, it's like 2 to 3 weeks. And then you're, you know, in the bullpen, so to speak, or on probation is what some places call it. And then that's for like a month, or I'd say like 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. And then, you know, you're cut loose and, you know, like actually making commissions, and, you know, they're not having to like watch you, monitor you and all that shit, right? To make sure you're not like gonna get them sued and you're using protective language and all that. Sure, maybe there's like a new product you need to learn about. There's maybe a change in like the script. Maybe there's technique that like someone uses that, you know, another manager is like, hey, I like that. Can you maybe like teach like this, like our team about that, or like share that with our team or something, right? Or, hey, we're going to listen to one of your calls so that they can maybe like pick up some things from you. Then okay. Or like I said, new product launch or things like that. Or, hey, this, you know, social media trend, or like, oh, one of our people's really good at social media, so we're going to have her, you know, come out on this, or an algorithm changes or something like that, new technique on this or whatever. But that's rarely ever what it is. Most of the time, mindset training. And what does mindset training actually mean? Brainwashing, so that you stay in, so that you get all the good feelings, so you're all hyped up, and so you're not going to leave.
Oh, your kids are suffering because you're on your phone way too much. Gotcha. Makes sense. But it's different here, they say. In my opinion, I've heard several times where they say you don't need a big following. That is absolutely not true, because if you look at it, the most successful people have a huge following. I don't know anyone that was killing it with 100 followers, like they claim. Oh, you don't need a big following to succeed here. Yes, you do. I've always wanted to be transparent and authentic in sharing things that I love and use and whatnot, and just being completely honest. So that is why I did this video. I'm not bashing anyone. I just wanted to share my experience and just let you know to do your research. I had just gotten my real estate license. I'm a licensed nutritionist and personal trainer, and I actually own my own business with that, but I took a step back on both of those things because of money. You can comment any questions that you have. Otherwise, like this video to support my leaving Monat.
Yeah, girlfriend. Guys, please go watch that video. Please go support her. I'll find her Instagram and put it down below. I think that she should, you know, make YouTube content. I mean, I think she's very likable. I like her. Literally don't know her, but just from what I've seen, I like her so far. And I think that she has made really good points of, you know, hey, I'm a realtor and a nutritionist. Like those are two things that you can actually run from, you know, from home and, you know, do that. And sure, those things take time to actually build up. But I'd say statistically, those things have a higher success rate than network marketing. I hope that she understands that all network marketing companies are the same. Some are just way worse than others, but I really hope that she doesn't get sucked into another MLM. And again, I've been bamboozled before, but I do love that she has been so open about this and brought up very common arguments and was able to completely shut them down with facts. And that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And hearing someone who, yeah, she did work the business. She did recruit people under her. And guess what? It was not viable for her because guess what? It's not viable for literally anyone, in my opinion. And then calling someone a corporate sex worker. That, my dear, that is extremely cringe. And it's wild that that's the response when it's like, your salespeople don't owe you any loyalty. You're their employer. If they have a better opportunity somewhere else and can make more money somewhere else because y'all are being whacked, that's sales, baby. Why do y'all think I literally changed jobs? I changed sales jobs like every other year because there was a better comp plan, a better company, a better product that I wanted to sell, somewhere closer to home, somewhere with better benefits. Were there a few times where I was like, God, I really don't want to leave this company. Like, I love it, but there was way better money to be made somewhere else. Yeah. Was I nervy sometimes? Yeah. So if you would like to, please go leave a supportive comment in Kelsey's comment section on that YouTube video. Let's not be crazy and push her to make anti-MLM content. People, when they get out of MLMs, need to, I mean, she can do whatever she wants, obviously, but I think that they need to sit with it and process it and not jump to like the other side of the spectrum so quickly, because I really do think that sometimes that can make it to where you kind of like transition those feelings of, it's kind of like cross addiction, where you're just taking those like culty feelings that you have. I mean, she seems pretty like well-rounded, but where you can just take those like culty feelings you have, like being brainwashed and all of that MLM girl boss vibes from the MLM, and then just like apply it to, you know, being an anti-MLM person. And then that can be pretty like toxic. That's just my opinion. So I would not suggest for her to do that. Obviously, if she wants to, go for it. Who am I to tell you what to do? If y'all want me to do an interview with her, let me know. I'd love to get some more deets from her. And if you are not subscribed, I honestly don't know what your butt looks like and I don't know what you're doing, but if you are subscribed, guess what? Your butt looks so good and I just don't even know what to do with myself. So good. And your feelings are valid and you are valuable, and hope you have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, or whenever you are watching this. So stay spicy, stay assertive, keep being a fine, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.